You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
Abraham Lincoln here is one of the most racist presidents we've had in modern history.
We're trotting out and peddling people's racist, sexist, bigoted stereotypes.
And their colleagues have distorted the facts.
Take the worst I say and turn them to a game. Take the best I say and put them on display.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently you're afraid of my words.
Hunter Biden is not above the law. We want to send him to the DOJ, and we want to trust the DOJ to do their job.
I want my Republican colleagues to give me one thing, that I can go campaign on and say we did.
The bill, as I said, codifies one definition of anti-Semitism. A definition that the author says shouldn't be codified.
RICO is not a crime. They want to act like they blind. They don't know what this is. These are our national secrets. Looks like in the shitter to me.
Leadership of the plans to get them back into chambers. That would have been call number 3 with Speaker Pelosi.
You didn't have one call, you didn't have 2 calls, you had 3 calls. So Speaker Pelosi's comments that she didn't speak to were inaccurate.
That is correct, sir.
Welcome to the Off-Label Podcast, your daily dose of sanity in an insane world. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Texas is getting ready for a wild weekend here. They're starting to mobilize. They're starting to get on guard. And it looks like there's a lot more states that are going to be following suit very, very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, the No Kings protest is on for this weekend. We all know what that means. Let's get ready for it. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have to give a little bit of an update of the LA things that are going on. It seems like they're actually in a pause here, and we're going to give it a little update about what's going on. And we got to touch on this Hannah Dugan thing. I can't pass it up. I've been thinking about it for a minute, but I want to touch on it. I know it's old news, but I want to be mouthy tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have some fun.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you can get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Can I get a raise? No, why would I give you a raise? Because it would be cheaper than hiring somebody else to do my job. If you left, I wouldn't hire anybody. I would just split up your work with whoever's here. You could probably get away with that temporarily, but eventually you would need to hire somebody else. I'm not even asking for that much. How much are you asking for? 10K, nothing crazy. You've lost your mind. I'm telling you, it's cheaper to retain an employee than it is to hire a new one. I'm pretty sure it's not more than $10,000. All right, here's my 2-week notice then. Great, now I have to go to HR. Hey, Frank. Hey, how much does it cost to hire a new employee? With recruitment costs, training costs, and lost productivity, it can run you anywhere from 6 months to 2 times an employee's salary, so maybe $45,000. So it's cheaper to keep employees. Oh yeah, definitely. Turnover is not a good thing. Hello? Hey, listen, about that raise, I think we can make that happen. You found out how much it would cost to hire a new employee. Yeah. How much did they say it would cost? Around $45,000. That's more than I thought. I'll tell you what, give me a $20,000 raise and I'm in. What happened to 10,000? That's before I started applying and realized people get paid a lot more money to do the same job I do. But 20,000 is still cheaper than hiring a new employee. Can I get a...
Yes. Yes, it is. That's how it fucking works. How y'all doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? We got Carolyn with us. We got Roger Needham, Jennifer O'Connell, Louie. We got Ken with us here. We're going to have more coming in. Got Joe, Harley's dad. How you doing, Harley's dad? Let's see. Be the one on the Rumble side. Jennifer, again, holding it down over there. We got Louie on that side as well. Those are the only ones talking. Okay. By the way, Jennifer, again, thank you for the 5 there at the very beginning. Here's what'll happen in LA. Protesters will be kettled, detained, arrested, and deported if illegal every day for 30 days. Nothing will happen until this Saturday. You are correct. They want the world at attention. And what's the best way to do it? When most of America is not working and just out having fun. Yeah, it's going to be a thing. It'll pop off Saturday. And I'm going to be here for it. We going to have the same setup going on. Popping in around all over the country, see what's going on and things. Wow. Okay, sorry. I just had somebody try to spin out and I heard a squealing and... Did he wreck? Oh my God. We're going to have that happening again. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of worried me a bit. But, I will say this. I forgot where I was going with anything beforehand. What up, Plan Hooky? Got some craziness going on around my house again already. But, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Texas is getting ready. Greg Abbott seems to understand what's coming his way. And they're gearing up. It's going to be a fun ride this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, You know what? I'm about to call the fucking police on this dude. What is it? Give me a second, guys. Sorry, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. We ain't doing that. He almost hit a dude on a motorcycle and a fucking lawnmower. No, we ain't playing that. I'm going to have somebody be calling me and talking to me here soon. But rioters in... I need to go to the live screen. Sorry, guys. Did not plan for any of this shit tonight. Rioters in Austin, Texas steal chairs, tables, and signs from businesses and dump them in the streets, most likely to help deter police, along with rental scooters, cones, street signs, barricades. This comes from Leftism for You. This was what was popping off this weekend. That was June 9th. That was, what? Posted. Okay, my phone just went off or something. But yeah, this is what was going off this weekend in Dallas. That I will admit, ladies and gentlemen, that was smooth as hell. It was like for an hour, hour and a half. Shit was popping off down there in Dallas. And the cops put it down. I mean, really put it down. Very, very quickly. It was impressive to watch. But this is what was going on down there.
We'll never be divided. The people. Don't do that. Hey, don't do the chair shit. Don't do the chair shit. That's someone's birthday.
Yeah, right outside my house. They were doing donuts right outside my house. Heard today was popping off in Austin, street takeover. No, this is just some dude acting like an ass right there. It's just some stupid ass motherfucker in a very powerful car doing donuts because he can, almost fucking up twice. What up, Mom's Mystery and Mayhem? We had that going on as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not forget, they put it down. I mean, Texas Dallas said, nah, fuck you. We're done. Good luck tonight. Thank you for the 5-year. Buster Rhymes. Yo, 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 yo. How y'all doing? How you doing, brother? Tony, hey. Member for 2 months. Love you, brother. Love you too, guys. But yeah, they put this down quick. Watch this shit.
Down from any of these cases. In fact, Homeland Security Secretary tonight on Fox saying they're going to arrest and charge protesters who are assaulting officers. So this is happening in real time, and it is the clash also, Caitlin, of immigration and law and order, two of the main issues of President Trump, all coalescing in this moment as people protest the methods of this administration.
And I also want to show what's happening in Austin. This is what's happening in Dallas. We also have similar scenes that are playing out. Protests that are underway in Austin right now.
Rhoda Bennett.
Elliot, when you look at what's happening in Dallas there, I want to go back to that image that we were just showing. Obviously, things seem to be heating up there as you're looking at this scene right now in Dallas where they are clashing with the officers.
Joe Vagan? I think that's it.
A lot of people are looking at this, and what I asked to Tom Homan was, is this going to be the new normal going forward in terms of more National Guard being deployed to other cities as well?
Well, and it all depends, quite frankly,
on
what happens with the legal challenges to this implementation of the National Guard. Now, look, there are circumstances where the president can federalize National Guard. Now, they're obviously...
Look at that. They taking them down. They taking them out. They're not fucking around, but ladies and gentlemen, California sheriff says Newsom encouraged LA riots as ICE arrests violent illegal aliens. Federal agents face 413% increase in assaults while moving dangerous illegal immigrants from America's streets. While removing. Listen to this. Oh, you little dick.
Absolutely appalled that we are at this point in society where people come out and think that this is okay. And then it makes it 100 times worse when you have politicians that are encouraging it, that are not calling it what it is, which is criminal activity.
Yep.
The lying to all of us, lying to the media, and purposely using the word peaceful,
right,
while maybe they should look at their phones or their TVs, because I have law enforcement officers that are being shot at, that are being injured, that are being hurt, vehicles being damaged, things being burned, and they're calling it peaceful. It is a disgusting display of partisan politics.
I would say it is giving aid and comfort to those who levy war against the citizens of this country. But hey,
I wish they would all just put their phones down, be quiet, and let law enforcement handle this how it should be handled, which is the complete enforcement of law and holding criminals accountable. It's rocks, bottles, tools, weapons being thrown at us. You watched multiple vehicles destroyed yesterday.
Hey, the social workers need to keep up with this, okay? That's what they were supposed to be hired for, right? We needed to abolish the police altogether, and social workers should be the ones out there just taking the sticks and stones and the punishment, because we won't have guns, apparently, in their utopia, so we will be using sticks and stones. The fuck?
By bricks. There are people hauling bricks into the zone and
Sticks
then
and
dropping
stones.
them off and leaving them there for weapons. And then our deputies and our police officers they're being used against us. And we're being hit with bottles. We're being hit with glass bottles, with tools, with rocks, with bricks. This is not a peaceful protest. It isn't even a protest anymore. It is a violent riot. And if they are going to try and do harm, then it is the responsibility of law enforcement to win that confrontation, and all of them need to go to jail. We know that gunfire has been reported. I know that there is a report of an officer being shot already. I'm not sure of the circumstances, so I don't know if it was pertaining to what is going on, or if it was involving something in the peripheral. I don't know. It's quite frankly, it's irrelevant. We are responsible for keeping people and property safe. And when people come and attack us, then we need to make sure that they're held accountable. They are
absolutely 100%. And giving aid and comfort to those who attack you. Now, here's the thing. Did they take an oath of office? No. I wouldn't say that. Not even putting your hand over your heart as a child. Saying the Pledge of Allegiance, would I consider that, all the way up to and including college. If you took an oath of office, we got problems. If you didn't, well, that would be sedition, because you're trying to violently overthrow the government, right? Oh, it's D for different, isn't it?
Trying to violently influence something by political action. That is what this is. That is what everything that the Constitution stands against. That is what law enforcement stands against, and that is what will facilitate the downfall of our civilized society. A civilized society has an adherence to the rule of law, and there is consequence for breaking that social compact. And when politicians encourage this behavior, which that's exactly what they are doing, is encouraging this behavior, encouraging people to come out and participate in these riots. And they lie to us and say that they're encouraging a peaceful protest. No, they're not. They know exactly what they're doing.
But please be peaceful. I don't even know why there aren't people out in the streets, and maybe there should be. Yeah, just get out and you create a crowd, and you get up in their face and you say they're not. Yeah, we know. You're always talking about it's code talk. Donald Trump's code talk, his code talk. Who the fuck knows code talk? Oh, that's right. Those who talk in code.
Doing this is far beyond peaceful protest. This is now a political action, and they are using violence and the threats of violence in order to get their way. And we absolutely must stomp this into the ground and stop it from happening.
However, here's the thing. It's not just them. They're just the ones willing to do it first. Go ahead, sir.
Chief of police from the largest police agency in the country said that they are being overwhelmed. Governor Newsom needs to put his phone down, go sit in his house behind the comfort of his TV screen and a couch and be quiet, because he is doing nothing but fueling this process. He needs to stay out of the way of law enforcement. He knows nothing about this. He knows absolutely nothing about the enforcement of law. He despises.
Oh, yeah. He knows a lot about the enforcement of law. And he weaponized it against itself. Weirdly enough. He knows a lot about how law enforcement actually works. And he said, no, fuck it. You're getting paid to do absolutely nothing. Let it all burn. You'll have an easier beat tomorrow because all you're just going to do is stand around.
This is the enforcement of law. And he has encouraged this.
That's a police force you want, though, LA?
This lawless act that is going on right now, this has been years in the making that he has encouraged.
I mean, haven't there been
quite frankly,
two bodies found in the LA riots now?
He says everything in a disingenuous manner for his own personal political gain, and we are suffering the consequences.
The dude is right. The dude is right. The Department of Homeland Security is sharing information about more than a dozen illegal immigrants suspected. Illegal immigrant suspects accused of crimes in the United States who were arrested in Los Angeles starting on June 6th. More than a dozen have been arrested for attacking federal officers. Yes, they were federalized. You went in there and actually started fight with the fucking National Guard when they walked onto the fucking scene. You didn't fight with them directly, but you threw shit at them. The agency released suspect information after violence broke out in downtown LA over the weekend in response to the ICE raids that resulted in hundreds of illegal aliens being arrested by ICE officers and agents, including many with criminal history and convictions. DHS listed more information about 19 suspects that ICE Los Angeles arrested on June 7th who were accused of crimes ranging from robbery to second-degree murder to rape. America's brave ICE officers are removing the worst of the worst from LA's streets, while LA's leaders are working tirelessly against them, DHS said in Sunday statements as riots continued through the weekend. Sheriff Chad Bianco of Riverside said agitators are not protesting and criticized Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom for not taking appropriate action. I'm going to tell you, he is 100% fucking correct with that. These people are... there's no doubt about it now. They're waging war on you. Taking over your streets. They're burning shit down. They set fire to, 5 Waymo cars, attacked police officers and federal fucking National Guard agents at that point. They were, I'm not going to say agents, but they were federalized National Guard, which means you were attacking the federal government. You're waving Mexican flags all over the shit, all over the place while shit burns to the ground. How am I not supposed to fucking feel about that? And then you got Gavin Newsom out there. He's just running his mouth all the time about how, hey, they need to remain peaceful. You can peacefully protest. Stay out there, Karen Bass. Stay out there in the streets, ladies and gentlemen. Just be peaceful about it. Just stay out there, though. Stay out there. It'll be okay. Just be peaceful, and you can stay out there. And then all of a sudden, she's like, oh, we got to do curfew. Now, see? I'm fucked. What I say all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Our leaders in every fucking community must be held to a higher standard than the citizens would be. If I were to do that shit, and just because I said be peaceful, you think I'm supposed to get away with everything? If I were to do that shit, my ass would be hauled off to prison incredibly fast. There'd be no getting out of that just because I said be peaceful, and all that shit happened because I said, yeah, no. That's how incitement works. We all know. But you want to talk about code talk and everything. That's those who know about code talk are the ones that do the code talking. You know, it's kind of like that dog whistle shit. It's a dog whistle for racism. You're the one that heard the dog whistle, though. So, hold up. But yeah. We also got a Texas well-funding protest. This comes from John Ferguson. Warning, Texas. Well-funded protests are planned to take place on June 14th. Look for the protest to grow leading up to that major event. Abbott needs to be proactive and mobilize every resource to keep these illegal Islamists and supporters in check. This was going on down there as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. What happens when you take a population who's been able to get away with everything they've ever wanted to do, let's say a decade, and then you run them against a federal government who's tired of the lawlessness, the bullshit, the corruption, and the games? I think we all know the answer to that. However, I don't know. Like I was saying, you know, we all know about that A24 movie, that Civil War, right? Everybody was always like, how does California and Texas join up? Well, you've seen it. Texas governor orders National Guard to deploy for protests in San Antonio. Governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, had ordered the state's National Guard to deploy to the city of San Antonio ahead of immigration-related protests planned for this week, saying the soldiers are on standby. Abbott protests are posted on the social media earlier on Wednesday, that the National Guard will be deployed to locations across the state to ensure peace and order. Peaceful protest is legal. Harming a person or property is illegal and will lead to arrest. The Texas National Guard, he added, will use every tool and strategy to help law enforcement maintain order. Abbott's move to mobilize troops followed Donald Trump's decision on Saturday to send California National Guard to Los Angeles after some limited and mostly peaceful protest against immigration raids. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Guardian. Limited and mostly peaceful protest against some immigration raids. We're going down that rabbit hole again, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody looking back on this in about 5 years? Really, they would look into that 15 years, 20 years, looking back, deep dive into what actually happened. Provided we stay around, the internet is forever, but written word is the whole point going into history in the first place. This looks heavy-handed as shit, if you didn't know. Just say your grandkids. Your grandkids grow up, they have kids. Your great-grandkids, they don't know about this shit. The only thing they have is what you've told your grandkids. Y'all ready for this fun trip down human history? California leaders described the sending of troops and then 700 U.S. Marines as deliberate provocation. Widespread demonstrations against Trump administration's deportation raids are expected on Wednesday, according to local media reports. And on Saturday, nationwide protests are planned as part of the No Kings event, according to organizers. Okay, cool. Where are these No Kings events happening? This comes from the Hill over here. Organizers of the No Kings movement are planning some 1,500 Democrat... Give me a second. Oh. Sorry, guys. After that, every time my phone vibrates and everything, I'm going to have to check it just to make sure. But, organizers with the No King movements are planning some 1,500 demonstrations across the country to protest the upcoming military parade Saturday. What? No, that's not what it's about, asshole. But, I mean, it just kind of falls in line for you guys to say that kind of shit. One notable location, however, is missing from the list. Washington, D.C., where the military parade will take place. Sending it toward G-Man, No Jabski. How y'all doing tonight? Tony Hay in the house. What up, Wes? But again, that's what I'm talking about. Military parade is going to happen in Washington, D.C. That's the only place on the fucking list. Everything else. Could you imagine actually being in the National Guard right now? You could be in D.C. watching the military parade, but yet you have to be watching your own streets. Ain't that kind of fucked up? Protest organizers have framed the move as a rejection to the spectacle, which will mark the 250th birthday of the U.S. Army, as well as the 79th birthday of President Trump. Okay, so, if this is happening in Washington, D.C., why are you staging it in 1,500 other places except where it's happening? To protest what's happening in Washington, D.C. How does this make any sense, ladies and gentlemen? Instead of allowing this birthday parade to the center, to be the center of gravity, we will make action everywhere else. We will make action everywhere else the story of America that day. People coming together in communities across the country to reject strongman politics and corruption, organizers wrote. Then what are you protesting over? Because it seems like you're helping the strongman politics and corruption you're talking about. What the fuck? They instead encourage those in DC to join the flagship march in Philadelphia or one of the other local protests in Virginia or Maryland. Organizers are also marketing DC Joy Day starting at 3 p.m. in Anacostia Park, which will have music, grilling, activities for children, and a grocery distribution. So you're intending to make the biggest crowd you possibly can before you start trying to fuck things up to rile in a crowd that may or may not be up for what you're doing? Dude, you know what this is, right? Come on. Free food, music, activities for kids. I don't know why. Grocery we're giving you free shit. Your kids can run around right before we riot, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a concert. We're going to be giving you food. We're going to be giving you free groceries. Your kids can do whatever the fuck they want. And then after they do whatever the fuck they want, we get to do whatever the fuck we want. How's that sound? The planned protests come after Trump lashed out at potential protesters at an Oval Office appearance Tuesday, is saying they would be met with very big force. No Kings protests are being considered by a wide coalition of progressive groups, although anyone can sign up and host for their own events with the movement. Come on, Hill. I mean, you are just giving out factual information, but it's only going one way with that one. The demonstrations Saturday come after a smaller pockets of protests countering immigration and customs enforcement action popped up across the country, including New York, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. In Los Angeles, protests are continuing in their sixth day, initially sparked by a series of ICE raids in the city that started Friday. The protests have also triggered a political standoff between California Governor Gavin Newsom and Trump, who called in the National Guard troop and active duty Marines to help quell the demonstrations. Let's see if they actually touch on the fact that the police force was told to stand down and they could do nothing but direct traffic, because they're not going to help with the ICE involvement at all. Any federal thing. We can't do anything. We're not going to do anything. We can't get in the way. We'll direct traffic. That's it. Let's see if they say that. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass also enacted a curfew. Oh, now you're just skipping everything. Curfew Tuesday night for a small pocket of downtown where the protests had been concentrated. Because apparently it was at those federal buildings. The anti-ICE protests have drawn a stringent response from Trump, who called protesters animals and a foreign enemy in a speech Tuesday. I'm sorry, they are. I don't give a shit. They're acting this way because they know they're not supposed to be here, but because they've been here because we turned a blind eye for too fucking long. They think they have the right to stay here because, yeah, you turned a blind eye. You knew I was here because I've been arrested several fucking times. Come the fuck on. In Washington, D.C., organizers separate from No Kings canceled a protest of the parade that they hoped would attract the 20,000 people, Axios reported. The reason for the cancellation is unclear. Maybe because they didn't attract 20,000 fucking people in Washington, D.C. The No Kings group has organized nationwide protests at several points already this year, including President's Day and the 250th anniversary of the start of the American Revolution in April. No Kings protests are planned in most major cities. Then you go to here. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, this is now your BLM. Welcome to the restart. Maybe we do live in a simulation. It just glitched hardcore and just like, oh God, they kind of fucked that. What do we do now? Restart and throw illegal immigrants at them? I don't know. What would they tolerate? Okay. Oh, well, that's just him being him then. Okay. I thought somebody else was fucking around. Well, he was fucking around, but he always fucks around. But, ladies and gentlemen, mugshots of Austin, Texas rioters arrested last night. Anti-ICE riot erupted in Austin, Texas last night, but Governor Greg Abbott stopped it immediately. That's how it's done. New scum, Bass, take notes. This comes from Donna G over here on X. Ladies, like, you know what? Take a look. Take a look. Oh, wait. There we go. Wrong button. Take a look. That is who is rioting in the streets. Dude looks like he got his fucking ass beat. The second one in the top row. But that is who is rioting in the streets. That first girl, the top left, looks like she just tried to cut her own fucking bangs. Like, these are not well people. But who am I to say what's well and not? I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm insane, right? I will say this, though, ladies and gentlemen. This is an actual invasion now. This is happening in Mexico's government. I was at Trump Tower. Hold up. When volume, total volume. Let me turn this up. I'm going to give it a boost for you guys. Up the gain. All right. Donald Trump was 16 days away from taking the oath of the first time as president, taking office. And yes, we do the way we paid for it. What? But we do it with the map of Mexico in 1830? Please tell me you're not going with a stolen land fucking argument. What up, Adam Chester, my nuts? How you doing? Amanda's in the house too with us. Please tell me you're not going with that stolen land fucking argument, asshole. Because that's how fucking war works. You lost, get over it. Remember the Alamo, bitch.
Este es lo que era Estados Unidos en 1830. Y esto era.
Let me ask you a question. How did Mexico get that land? Because that should have been the Native Americans. How did Mexico get that land?
Parte de México. No era todo México.
Oh, we've been invaded for decades, yes. Maybe a third. Minimum. A third minimum. We'll take a third of that. Minimum.
El territorio norteamericano era parte de México hasta 1846.
We were stripped of these territories. We were settled. Therefore, they were before the nation now known as the USA. You're going with a stolen lands fucking argument? No. Now, this is, hold up. Hold up. Let's roll it back, because wasn't that part of the argument with Russia? Russia just wanted all that land back from Ukraine because it was stolen from them when the Soviet Union fell apart, because it was supposed to be borderlands that was stolen from them. They're just trying to get their Soviet Union status back. And now these motherfuckers are saying, because we lost the goddamn war, we want our territory back.
Los tratados de Guadalupe Hidalgo establecen derechos para la gente
or the people settled in those territories that were not respected.
La ciudad de Nuevo Laredo era una ciudad mexicana. Y la ciudad de Nuevo Laredo se formó con los mexicanos que vivían en Laredo y que no quisieron quedar del lado de los Estados Unidos y se vinieron a lo que es territorio nacional. Con esta geografía, ¿cómo puede hablar de liberar Los Ángeles y California el gobierno de Estados Unidos? Es territorio nacional.
National territory. Huh.
Con esta geografía.
With this geography.
¿Cómo puede hablar?
How can we talk about
de liberar
liberating Los Angeles and California? Did the government liberate them from who? Hold on. With this geography, how can we talk about liberating Los Angeles and California? Did the U.S. government liberate them from who?
Los mexicanos y mexicanas que están asentados en ese lugar están.
This is almost this sounding like a declaration of war at this point. Because you're laying claim to a territory.
Asentados en lo que ha sido su patria.
They're settled in what has been their homeland. Most spoken language in Los Angeles is Spanish. Oh! You mean like how the most spoken language in, what was it, the Donbass region was Russian?
No necesitas hablar inglés para estar.
You don't need to speak English to be in Los Angeles.
Y estamos en la situación actual.
And we are here in this current situation. This is part of the U.S. The government has the right to implement whatever immigration measures it deems appropriate. Certainly. But it does not have the right to violate the dignity of migrants. He's 647. What's up, Missy?
No tiene derecho a separar las familias. No tiene derecho a someterlos al sufrimiento, a la persecución.
So you're actually going to sit there and throw that out there? Wow. That's amazing that you would actually target yourself for that so that you can try to be a victim. How you were arrested by the Trump administration for making a threat on his life. Well, goddamn. Look, this channel knows full fucking well I don't like orange asshole either. But even I'm not that goddamn stupid. Well done for pointing yourself out. Have fun. They ain't fucking around. But apparently you are. Have fun finding out when that happens. How you doing? Anyway. That was just dumb as shit. But there you go. Oh, he's not going to catch me. I'm going to be sleeping. You don't know my connections, though, do you? Los Angeles immigrants swept up ICE raids, already deported in some cases. One man told his parents he thought he signed for a COVID test, but feared he accidentally consented to deportation. Hold up. You're trying to tell me this motherfucker thought he was signing to take a COVID test? Look, I know America's fucking stupid. But, not that fucking stupid. Los Angeles immigrants swept up in ICE raids, already deported in some cases, and this motherfucker's like, hey, I thought I was signing to consent for a COVID test. No. Some Los Angelinos, register, it's quick and easy. I'll do it later, fuck you. Some Angelinos rounded up by federal immigration agents have already been deported, according to news report. A fuller picture emerges of the immigrants arrested during the raids in Los Angeles that have triggered a wave of protests there and in other cities across the U.S. The Trump administration has not released a count, but the parents of a 23-year-old member of Mexico's indigenous Zapoic community told the Washington Post they had received a phone call from their son telling them he had been dropped off at the U.S.-Mexico border and told to cross over. The man who was arrested at Ambiance Apparel in Los Angeles on Friday told his parents he thought he had signed a consent form to a coronavirus test, but may have accidentally instead signed off on his deportation. Huh? Wait. So you told your parents that you were at this apparel store, one of the apparel stores that actually got attacked in the riots and everything, and you got arrested, and you thought you were signing for a COVID test, but it turned out to be your deportation? How does this work? I mean, nothing clicked in the parents' minds about any of this shit? What? Keep following. The man who was arrested in ambiance apparel in Los Angeles on Friday told us, yeah, we already read that. The way they deported him wasn't right, his 42-year-old father, Javier, told the outlet. He is a calm, working man. We are all asking for justice because they violated his rights. This motherfucker was at an area where he got arrested by ICE agents because they were doing raids in that area. And because they staged at this apparel place, apparently, supposedly, he got arrested right there. Well, maybe what were you doing there? They said he had no criminal record and had been in the U.S. for 4 years. Oh, so you've been here illegally for 4 fucking years. Even though you had no criminal record, you've been here for 4 fucking years. And we're supposed to just, whatever, cool. You came in during Joe Biden's term in 2021 when everybody was telling you it was a right-wing conspiracy theory that the border was an actual issue. It's all under control, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about it. You came in that first, million or so that crossed? And just because you've been here that long, just because Joe Biden lets you in, no harm, no foul, right? Well, I mean, you're illegal. You don't know the system. You're not trying to adjust to the system. You're used to your system, and you think your system is what's supposed to work here in the United States. Yeah. Now you got an administration that's not fucking around. This is the find out phase. I mean, you were told to deport yourself, and if you do, you can come back into this country legally. And we'll even give you expedited process. You didn't do that. Instead, you were hunted the fuck down. I'm supposed to have a bleeding heart for you because you've been here for 4 years? No. The spokesperson for the Coalition of Human Rights, or Humane Immigrant Rights, told the Post that the organization's emergency line had received more than 120 calls from distraught family. I was going to read that off as 210 because I reversed that in my head. Jose Mario Cabrera estimated that many of those detained had been in the U.S. for decades, do not have legal representation, and had been transferred to detention facilities far from their homes. Okay. Well, they've been here for decades. Wonder how that happened. Wonder how they're able to work. Wonder how they're able to survive. Maybe, just maybe, least amount of assumptions. They started the process legally, then fell off because they got into that lazy ass American way to where, don't really fucking matter. Nobody ever paid attention. Nobody ever fucking cared after they were here, tried to do some things for a while, and then lost interest in it, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. And nobody gave a shit until now. And all of a sudden, because nobody gave a shit till now, I'm supposed to care that you've been draining my resources for decades? And yes, I'm going to say, it does drain our resources. Yes, it does. They pay back into the system too because they have IETN numbers and all that. They get their taxes taken out. Oh, they should count too, right? No. Because they didn't follow through with their commitment to the fucking process in the first goddamn place. Just because they've been here after not following through with their commitment for decades doesn't mean they deserve to stay here. For not following through with their commitment for decades. I don't understand how the fuck this is possible for anybody to even make this fucking argument. It's not a thing. Jesus Christ. And you, as an American citizen, if you don't live up to to any agreements that you make contractually, legally, morally, emotionally, whatever the fuck contracts you make as a human being, if you do not live up to it, is there or is there not consequences to that action? And I'm supposed to fucking care because accountability has come knocking decades later? No, go fuck yourself. Tony, hey, Munkets, that changed my mind. I want to be a mod again. No. No. You sharpen them claws. Tom Home and Donald Trump's boardesar told MSNBC Morning Joe on Monday the raid in the downtown manufacturing district wasn't an immigration raid, but the federal law enforcement were executing criminal warrants related to money laundering, tax evasion, and customs and fraud investigation. Homan then agreed that not everyone arrested had a criminal record. We're going to enforce immigration law. Ah, okay, cool. I'm sorry. Me as an American fucking citizen gets raided by some kind of law enforcement. My first instinct is going to be like, what the fuck is happening? You try to manhandle me. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. You're going to throw me in cuffs. I'm going to struggle. I'm going to fight back a little bit till I understand what the fuck's happening. All right? Not everyone arrested had a criminal record. Cool. Not everyone arrested had a criminal record. Other than the fact that they were illegal or they were in the area and could be aiding and abetting at the time of an actual fucking raid by a federal enforcement. Huh. I'm sorry. If a federal enforcement raided the fucking place that I was working at that day, I'd expect for them to put me in handcuffs to at least know who the fuck I am. Not everyone arrested had a criminal record. Okay. A little bit weird that you put that in there, Guardian. Mexico's foreign minister had said 4 immigrants detained in Ambien's raid had already been removed from the U.S., and the Federal Department of Homeland Security released 16 people who they said had criminal histories. 4 immigrants detained at the Ambiance raid had already been removed from the U.S. Okay, so they've already been deported before, and they're back again. And the Federal Department of Homeland Security released 16 people who they said had criminal histories. Oh! They released 16 people who had criminal histories. Guess what? They were legal or actual citizens. God damn, are you this dumb, people? Can you not see that they're actually being like, hey, the sky is falling, but here's what's actually happening, and they are actually targeting the people that they say they're targeting. Here's all the information showing that, but the sky is falling. God fucking damn. A DHS official told the Post that 2,368 people were arrested on June 4th and 2,267 on June 3rd. Okay. So that's what we're talking about. Damn near 5,000 people. The increase from about 660 per day over the first 3 months of the Trump presidency. Okay, so he kicked it into fucking overdrive again. Cool. Let's go. It comes after the White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller said in May that the administration's goal is for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agenda to make him a 3,000 arrests daily. Minimum. Okay, now you're doing something. Now you're talking about doing something. Other federal agencies are believed to have contributed to the increase in detention along ICE, including FBI, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the Drug Enforcement Administration, Homeland Security Investigations, ATF, ATFE, ATIFA. No, that doesn't work. Immigrant advocacy groups say they have information that more than 200 people were detained and that many do not have criminal records. Okay, more than 200 people were detained, and a lot of them don't have criminal records because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time and they're American citizens or legal immigrants. DHS Assistant Secretary Patricia McGlellan told Fox News on Monday that those detained were the worst of the worst. Huh. Okay. So they had badass records? Despite the conflicting accounts, the raids appear to mark a turning point in efforts by the Trump administration to enforce immigration laws that turn the focus from detaining and deporting migrants. Oh, you son of a bitch. Here we go. Migrants with actual or alleged criminal histories to a border deportation sweep of people who do not possess U.S. citizenship. Quote, the people who have been arrested are our neighbors and community members and the workers that make the city of Los Angeles run. Ladies and gentlemen, this is their slave class. This is their slave class. Who's going to pick your fucking vegetables? Adler said that. Who's going to scrub your toilets? Kelly Osbourne said that. Who's going to... What was the other one? Oh, I'm sorry. Nope. We're doing it. Now I understand the point to be made, but again, point to be made. Let's bring this up. This is House of Representatives Belend. Listen up.
Labor, and of course, we have to come to a place in Congress where it is no longer a political issue, but we see it as an existential issue for the country. If we don't have avenues for people to come here legally to work or to build a home here, I'm going to be really crude right now. We're not going to have anybody around to wipe our asses because we don't have enough people.
Do you need people to wipe your asses? Huh. Weird way of actually fucking putting it. What was she was saying is there's a declining birth rate. We have a population crisis in this country, and we need to use migrants to come over here to put you to work because we can't make shit anymore. Oh, wait. God damn, how many times have we brought this up, ladies and gentlemen? From the United Nations Secretariat. March 21st of 2000. Displacement and migration. Is it a solution to declining and aging populations? I have this on standby. I've told you, I've sat here and told you the entire fucking time. The reason for the migrant crisis was because we do not have the people entering the workforce anymore to keep up with the supply and demand that we had before. They're freaking out because they've been spending at that fucking level and now they don't have the income to make up that spending. What are we doing? Oh, fuck it. We told you to stop having kids. We told you to kill your kids. We told you to sterilize your kids. Fuck. Now we fucked ourselves. We don't have enough money. What do? Bring in more fucking people. There's your slave labor. You know, the jobs you won't do as Americans. Holy shit. U.S. immigration officials raid California farms as Trump ramps up conflict. Who's going to pick your vegetables? Nadler was straight up fucking telling you where these people are. Who's going to pick your vegetables? Oh. So you're saying you're using cheap slave labor that you know you shouldn't be doing to do your farming. You know, like you did with black people picking cotton? Huh? Wow. and that's in California. They were raiding in the fields because Nadler was saying, who's going to pick your vegetables? Oh, so you're telling me where they are. U.S. immigration officials have encouraged. God damn it. I'll do it later. Shut up. You shut up. Shut up, Guardian. U.S. immigration officials have increased enforcement activity. You know what? It's past time. It's past time. This is a normal show. This is a normal show. We can't stay on all day. I looked at that. Y'all didn't remind me. You got the link. We will continue this on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, you got 3 minutes.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different, man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro, don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it, and maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.